welcome everybody to our podcast. It's called Nobody's Listening, which is not sort of faux humbleness. It's true. Nobody's actually listening. If you're listening and you're not a family member, you might be the first actual listener. So the show was spawned because my nephew Ty, and he knows everything. He's an obsessive, and he all he does is think about basketball. And then we'd have these conversations and these texts literally almost daily during the season. I'm like, we should record it. So here we are. And one of the things I noticed that I hate about listening to other shows, they never give me an overview. So today's episode, like of each division, I never really know exactly who starts for what team. I kind of know, but not exactly. So today we're starting with the Southwest Conference. Ty, is that correct? This is Ty. I'm Jason. I think I might just go with Jay. Sounds a little cooler.
Jason's kind of cool. The way you said that.
Yeah, that's cool. We're going with the Southwest Conference, and what we're going to do is 10 minutes for each team, which might be hard for the New Orleans Pelicans to do a deep dive.
Yeah, that's tough.
For the Pelicans, although, yeah. And Ty's going to go through starting lineups, a few concerns for the team, the upsides to the team, maybe who they drafted, if it might augment the team. And then I'm going to ask just questions that seem kind of leading, but they're just like regular guy questions, watches the games, kind of knows some stuff. But I actually think we can learn some things here. And that's where my man Ty, welcome.
All right. Let's kick it off with the Dallas Mavericks.
Ooh, the Dallas Mavericks.
On the timer. Okay, Dallas Mavericks. Last year finished only 26 games last year, but extremely fueled by a late tank. They played a lot better than that earlier in the season. Additions, the main addition being Kyrie Irving's back. They have every power forward imaginable with Aldama and Mojo in.
Yeah, they're heavy there, huh?
Mojo is Morez Johnson. This is Jason's nickname, and a good choice.
I think it should catch, yeah, for sure.
I think so too, for sure. But yes, this team's huge. They re-signed Najee Marshall to a long-term contract. It sounds like Clay. We haven't heard much lately, but it sounded like Clay's not going to be there.
Will he be in the NBA still?
Yeah, there's been talk of a buyout and going to like a Miami or something, but
that's actually not bad.
We'll see if it happens. Yeah, they could desperately need that, but added Riche, well, and Sergio De La Rey in the draft.
Is Riche any good or is he not any good? He's first overall.
I think it's just like the curse of being the number one pick a lot of the time. His expectations were sky high, but going into that draft, no one knew who was going to be the number one pick, and there shouldn't have been number one pick expectations on him.
Is there any way he can settle into being like a real solid NBA starter?
Yeah, I think Atlanta sold too early on him for sure. Because here's the thing, he's 6'8" and projects to be able to shoot it, has shot it decently well, and I think can shoot it, can kind of attack closeouts and get to the basket a little bit, and too skinny right now, but like could totally, it's just such a low bar for 6'8" small forwards to be effective NBA
if
players.
He can shoot it a little bit.
Yeah, he can shoot it already a little bit. I think he will be able to. He's smart and long and arms and stuff. He's just super, super skinny.
So I look at this team, and here's one of my questions. Cooper Flagg shot under 30% from three. PJ Washington shot under 30% from three. Max Christie needs to forcing himself on offense if he can. Because I look at this lineup, and might that be an issue with these guys?
I would, totally agree. Especially, I think they should just be trying to keep Klay Thompson. Shooting's definitely the number one concern, and they just keep going into this. Like, they have a lot of players. I struggle with this team a bit because they have a lot of players I like. Like, I think we both really like Najee Marshall, but can't really shoot. TJ Washington, can't really shoot. That will definitely be the Achilles heel to this team. And
is Derik Lively healthy, or does he still have an Achilles heel injury?
Nice. He's as of now healthy. I can't imagine he plays a lot of minutes.
No, because of health?
I hope so because of health. I just don't assume. Like, he's been great, but has barely played since they made the finals.
Yeah.
But basically, I don't love how they're building this team around Cooper necessarily. I think they're building a team that worked around like Luka.
Yeah.
This is this primary ball handler.
He doesn't look to me like he can create offense the way someone would have to set up a team around him. Am I wrong?
I agree. I agree. He showed more of that than I thought in his rookie year for sure, but that's not really I thought what made him special. I thought what made him special was just like he was this great unstoppable athlete who could score the ball and pass it, and it was also this like he was one of the best defensive playmaking prospects we've seen. Like the whole thing was like his motor and his defense. No, last year he didn't do any of that. His defense was like not great, and
that's what I thought. Or heard. I didn't.
But it's just because like he's being asked to be a point guard on this team with no spacing. Like, I think he's just smashing his head into the wall every time.
What have we heard about Kyrie in the offseason? Does it look like he's going to be healthy?
Yeah, no, Kyrie's supposed to be back. And I don't know. I think he will be an exceptional fit next to Cooper for sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'd be happy with Cooper as kind of like a 1A, 1B with another player. Both putting the ball in his hands nonstop and then giving him not good enough spacing is just kind of a recipe for issues.
So I'm confused because things are getting really difficult now that teams aren't tanking. Like, I really got comfortable with the league with tanking because I could sort of prognosticate what a team would be trying to do and how they would win and and lose. This is hard now. I don't know, like, if I'm Dallas, I love Mojo. You love Mojo. I think the world loves Mojo right now. Would they just plunk him in there even though they might lose some games to get him minutes? Or are they actually trying to win and make playoffs? Like, what's Dallas trying to do this year? What would be a good season for Dallas this year? That's a great question for this kind of thing. Yeah.
One, the Mavs don't own the draft pick, so that's just not a consideration, even wouldn't have been pre-tanking. Okay. So they're going to be trying to win as much as they can. I think if it was me, the priority would be seeing what you have with these young players on your team and seeing what else you need. Like, in Max
what direction you need to go.
Yes, and what holes you need to fill them up on the roster. Like, Mojo's a huge part of that. I'd be giving him lots of minutes trying to figure it out.
Nash Marshall was fantastic last year. I watched him a lot because I had him in fantasy, and so I was obsessed with him. I can't believe what a nice all-around player was, minus the fact that his three-point ball is not good enough, which sucks, which is a problem when many of the other guys on your team can't shoot it either, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I think one thing I'd be really focused on this year is playing, because like Morris Johnson played next to a center in college in Michigan. I would be playing a ton of him next to
Tell the viewers who the center was. Not everybody knows this.
Edey Mara, like 7'5",
12 or something.
7 foot, yeah. Gigantic center, neither of which could shoot, but it worked in college basketball. And I don't think there's a 0% chance it works in the NBA, but I think you play him a lot with Lively and Gafford and then play him some minutes without.
I think Mojo is a little
where
bit,
you're at.
I watched Michigan a lot last year, and they actually played a closer pro style than a lot of teams did, and also some guys with high basketball IQ, as they always say. So I think he might be closer ready than some going into the year.
Yeah, no, I agree. I had him 6th, 7th.
What about Gafford? Are they going to do this whole Gafford Lively thing like they did?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Gafford, I'm biased on this team because I would really like both the Jazz to go get at least Gafford, but if not, Gafford and Najee Marshall would be nice fits. But yeah, the problem with Gafford is he's just been also like Lively. He's just not been super healthy for a lot of his career. He's really effective when he plays. Awesome offensive rebounder, awesome rim protector, awesome rebounder. Just the base, does the center stuff well. And I love when guys do that.
Who's this Sasser guy?
Sasser played, he was Detroit. He was like the mid-20s draft pick to Detroit. And every time he plays, he can like really score the ball and really shoot it.
What's not really got off the floor?
Size. He's like 6'2" and skinny.
We hate 6'2" and skinny. That'll be a theory that we get to here eventually at some point. Okay, then also I'm glancing here because again, fans like me, that Aldama guy, you know, he has games where he really shoots it. Is he a factor on a team like this, or is he just like going to get in the wash and be like, whatever?
I think because of the shooting that they desperately need, there'll be opportunities. I think Aldama's an awesome shooter and kind of average defensively at best, I'd say. I think he's probably just going to be playing out of position a bit and playing like the 3 more than the 4.
Do you think Kyrie can sort of help Cooper Flagg an awful lot and getting him in good positions with the ball and making him much more productive, efficient? Not that he wasn't, but and really make Cooper's game take another little jump up?
Yeah, 100%. I think how Kyrie, I was a big Kyrie hater early in his career, but like his adjustment to being this like awesome off-ball weapon, like running off screens and using like his shooting gravity, just will open up the floor so much. Like I see a lot of like inverted pick and rolls where Cooper Flagg is a ball handler and Kyrie setting a screen. Because it makes
what teams do that? Give me an example of other teams that use something like that successfully.
A lot of teams are doing that now, but like Giannis did that a lot with some of their guards.
Right. So what you need in that is you need the guy who's the inverted guy needs to be able to shoot it, or this is ineffective, right?
Yeah, because they're not a successful roller. But what happens, like Kyrie's defender, who's a small guard, if they come over and try to help on the pick and roll, you would think Cooper can go right through that guy. Right. So,
listeners, this is the learning segment. Did you see how we just kind of did that and seamlessly, organically? That's what most of these shows can't do. Okay, so I look this and then I think to myself, who's a trade target? Who are they gonna like? If I were them, I'd want to see if Richache can actually play. So I'd play him early, and then I'd be like, all right, this guy's no good. Ce n'est pas bon. That's French for is no good.
Yeah, and then I would.
Yeah, who on this roster here would have competing because they're not going to contend. I don't think, right? So who on this team's a nice trade target for, say, one of the top 10 teams that looks like they might have a real shot? Who are a couple guys?
They have lots of these guys. I don't know if any of them, except maybe Gafford, would get like a full first-round pick, but like a couple seconds. I think PJ Washington
Kyrie?
And Najee Marshall. Yeah, okay, Kyrie. I wasn't thinking about Kyrie. Yeah, Kyrie could get a first, I think, for sure.
Are they necessarily going to build this team for the next 3 years around Kyrie, or might they showcase him in trade?
I don't think so. What I would be doing is I would be like, Kyrie's great just for like making this roster work a little bit better, but I'd be seeing what I have in all these guys and what I'm missing, and then like they don't really have any assets either is the unfortunate thing. They kind of got to roll with what they're doing, so their moves on the margins are really important.
Do you think? Do you agree with me that like I watch Max Christie and I think you could be so good? Come on, man, be good. And then he just like disappears and floats around with that nice flowy hair, and I don't understand. Am I right or wrong? Like I
agree with that. I've always liked Max Christie, but he just doesn't seem to want to shoot 12 threes a game, which is what needs to happen. He needs to go, especially for this team. Yeah. Okay, we're out of time.
Upside. What's the best they could do if the Avs like do everything right and go? What can they get 7th or 8th?
I have a group from like 8 to 11 that I think they're in, and I actually think they have better upside than a lot of things because I think they're going to be pretty decent defensively. They've got a lot of size, and I think if Cooper takes this superstar step, they're going to be quite good. I could see them as high as
He's
8.
not going to, just so you know. Okay, next team.
Sure.
He's not a superstar. He's like
I'm not saying I'm predicting the. Yes,
do you think he's going to be a superstar?
I think he might be like top 15 player in the league in terms of value.
A super big winner helping
but not like number one scorer, put the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and I didn't mean that to denigrate him. I just don't think
I'm with you. But I think the way they're trying to build this roster is with that in mind for him, and I think that's...
Yeah. Next team.
Next up, the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, we're going right to the big bad boys.
NBA Finals runner-up. Didn't do much this summer at all. I think they shouldn't have. So basically what happened is they drafted 2 huge centers.
Terrace Reed's big, but he's not super tall. Is that the right thing?
He's like 6'11". He's fine, center size, and he's bulky and strong. He's a big boy. I was really impressed with. I saw him in summer league, like when they were playing the Jazz when I was like in like the 3rd row, and he's like a terrifying human being. Like if he was running at you, it's got definitely like Jalen Duren vibes.
So
like
can he
just
set
like
a big bone-crushing
yes,
screen?
he can set good screens. He can roll to the basket. He's not super explosive, like
Can he
getting up
defend?
for like oops, getting up for like oops. Although I didn't do as much like I just did a tiny bit on
Yeah.
So people seem to like the rim protection, kind of average moving on the perimeter. To be honest, like Gafford's kind of who we just talked about, kind of a
Yeah.
good comp as the type of player you would hope he could be. But
You know what I was impressed with Terrace Reed, and we talked about this. We'll get into some other episode, but like he actually looks like he knows what he's doing out there. And I don't know if that's
yeah,
because
I
he's a
agree.
UConn guy, right? He's UConn because he trained
Yeah,
with
and
that
he's older.
coach.
He's
And he's
yeah.
older, but he actually looked like he knew what he's doing, which is really refreshing for a lot of these young guys coming out, and so maybe that'll help him because on this team he's going to have to know what he's doing to get minutes. Didn't they add? Who's the guy from Detroit? Where's he on there? They
Yeah.
got
So one thing before we move on to that, the Terrace Reed, I really like this. I think this is going to be something we see more and more and more in this cap environment where no one has any money, is drafting old centers who can be on a cost, or old players of all positions really, but like centers are just, there's not enough supply,
right.
and getting Terrace Reed, who is probably a backup center, but like for like $3 million a
Right,
year
but
for
when
4 years.
Wemby's going to have to take some games off, either little tweaks, and then you go out there with Cornette and Terrace Reed, and you can probably
You're
win
fine.
quite a few games, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, Tobias Harris, I thought a great addition. I thought something they lacked at times, like in their loss to the Knicks and in some of the parts of the Thunder series, was just some, like, decent shot creation. Someone that can just go and get, like, a decent shot and give Wemby a possession off. And Tobias Harris can do
didn't
that.
look like
Yeah.
it was Fox,
No,
unfortunately.
no, it did not. And I don't think Fox is long for this team. A team this good, it's really hard to pay Aaron Fox $50+ million. Like
Who would though?
yeah, no, I get him back to the Kings. I guess they've got 8 cash now. But yeah, no, they might have to give something up here. But and I also think like I don't know who's coming off the bench, like Dylan Harper looks like a potential star. You love Dylan. I'll let you go off on Dylan Harper.
Oh, here's the thing. San Antonio is going to win multiple championships if Dylan Harper can increase his 3-point percentage from 33.5% to 37%. This is going to be an incredible team. I was super impressed. You watch this finals, the big playoffs. These two things, this should make a Spurs fan super. Devin Vassell, is that his name? Devin or Davin? That guy?
You got Devin right. Vassell.
He is a legit playoff contributing player that doesn't have to have the ball and doesn't have to. Wasn't he impressive?
Yeah, I love Devin Vassell, like both from the aspect of like getting some shots in the mid range, but really impressed by how hard he defended. That was like a question mark because this team had never played much real basketball.
He did go weak on one offense, one rebound, but I'll let him pass on that. That's just one thing. But then on the so that I think if I'm a Spurs fan, I'm like, yeah, Vessel, he's awesome. Here we go. But then Keldon Johnson was a non-factor. Why was he a non-factor? Should they worry about this? Because this is a championship caliber team, obviously. But if Keldon Johnson can play like that, something's got to change there. Maybe the Detroit guy can help that out, or was that just an aberrant 7 or 6 games for Keldon Johnson? Because through the playoffs, I was like, eh.
I certainly think Keldon Johnson is a player who's better in the regular season than the playoffs. Some of his like downhill strength drives work better against weaker opposition. He's just not a consistent enough shooter, and the way he shoots the ball with just like hugely high arching shot, I just don't really trust him to do that. He's kind of too slow laterally to defend at a high level.
I do like his cowboy vibe though, especially with all this Yellowstone stuff getting hot. It's the right thing.
I agree. So, I think Carter Bryant is going to take his role here, and Keldon Johnson.
Carter Bryant shows moments where he could be like a serious top set, like a seriously. Is that going to happen? Is he going to jump this year? What's he need to do?
I don't know if it's this year. He just needs like consistency, and he needs to shoot the ball. What did he shoot last year? Actually, Carter Bryant shot well in college. I mean, I believe in him to be a different shooter, but he's already an awesome defensive player. He kind of
Yeah.
in and out of the doghouse at times a little
Why?
bit, but just rookie mistakes, in my opinion. Just like things where just like he missed a rotation he was supposed to make, made a wrong decision. But every time, like, he's a guy that you can like really like throw on like any superstar,
Yeah.
pretty
And
much,
he's like
and
pesky
he's
and
gonna do
strong,
decent.
and
Yeah,
I like Luke Cornett. Should I?
I like Luke Cornett.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna get any negative words from me about Luke Cornett. I really like Luke Cornett. Came into the like when he came into the league with the Knicks, and he was like being called like a unicornet because he was like
That's
his thing
such a
was
good
he was
nickname.
just like shooting threes and like the rim protecting, and I love that he just like cut that. Like it wasn't working that well, so he's just became is like, oh yeah, I'm 7 feet
This is what
tall.
I am.
I think he does a great job defensively of like being like a mini Wemby on the second, like being there for rim protection. Like obviously it's gonna look way worse. Wemby's probably going
I
to be the
would
best
love it if they
defensive
put
player
an
ever.
accent agu on the E in Luke Cornett, so they had back-to-back French centers. That'd be so
That would be
awesome.
great.
Here's what I have a question. If I'm San Antonio Spurs, I want Vic to. How can Vic play against a shitty team, a mediocre team in the regular season? Get out there, run up and down, get like 35 minutes, 33 minutes without wearing himself out. I have like what parts of the game are exhausting for a big guy, and how can you kind of, like he tries to jump out of the gym and block every shot. Does he actually need to do that against Memphis?
He's already had the deterrent effect where like guys are not wanting to shoot. Like I saw a stat that Derik White contested more shots in the regular season last year than Wemby did because guys aren't even trying it. They're just dribbling to the point. So he can definitely save some energy there. If I was him, I think enough playing, too much, and we've discussed this ad nauseum.
I think I'm going to change my opinion on this.
Too much playing on the no. Okay,
nope,
I'm saying too. Let me explain why I think too much playing on the perimeter is an issue.
That's how he's going to save energy. I've actually completely switched on this. I think in the regular season, he should actually come down, stop about 5 feet outside the 3-point line, kind of do that Karl-Anthony Towns, he holds the ball out here, does this, kind of looks cool, jacks the odd shot, and then just go back on defense. Don't you think that could save him some energy? How about that?
So, yeah, I think there's two kind of ways about that. If he can get to a level where he's actually shooting a good enough percentage way outside the line.
Good enough.
It's not okay. But my thing is when that's not usually what he does. Usually what he does is he catches the ball on the perimeter and then is trying to drive from 30 feet and get all the way to the basket. That's going to be hard on his body. And I would also worry about that going to be his legs are too long. Someone's going to step on his ankle. Like, well, he's trying to drive through the paint. I'm fine with the jump shots and the 3-point shots. Yes. I don't like the perimeter driving. That's not, to me, he's not really using his advantages there. What I would be focused on if I was him is getting, because he's shown parts of this, is getting a killer, like, fadeaway jumper. That, like, that he can shoot a little Dirk at, like, 12 feet where he can get, no one can contest that in any way, shape, or form when they have lineups that don't quite have enough spacing because no one can contest it anyway. And I think that's a way that he can just like lope down the floor.
Yeah, he's got to do some loping.
He's not great just because strength is probably the biggest thing he needs to keep adding. It's harder for him than you'd think for him to like get deep into the paint and just like finish right inside.
Guys kind of get low on him, hey? Like you saw who's the Knicks backup guy, just he'd body him up.
Mitchell Robinson was.
Yeah, Mitch.
I think just like getting that shot where he can just get to that at any point and get a decent look off would be really nice. Like LaMarcus Aldridge was a Spurs player who did this endlessly. It's just like regular season. Well, and a nice thing where it's just like offense is dead, end of the shot clock, just toss it to Wemby for this.
You know why I think Wemby's going to really try to win the MVP this year, right? So I don't think he'll try to save much energy through the year. You know what I see? I look at this lineup and I look, these guys have to play now. They have to win games. They're going to want the number 1 seed. This is a deep basketball team that could have any 2 guys out on any given night and still probably win a lot of games. Yes? No?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And these are just guys that just like play hard and are always wanting to be out there. This is like go time and would be whatever kind of like wing power. What I still think this team could use is like heft in the front court. Is like not Aaron Gordon because he's injured all the time, but an Aaron Gordon type of guy to take some of like the burly matchups, also saving Wemby energy. I think that's what they could use.
Because I like that Champagne guy. We should talk about him. Champagne problems not there. But again, you're right. Like a little more of this. Castle gives you that, eh?
Castle
like
gives you that
Tyson,
for sure.
Man.
I just would want someone like who can, and there's like whoever kind of. It always kind of depends on like who shakes loose, and it doesn't need to be a super high-end player, but just someone. And it's in the Fox salary slot that's in the front court.
Yeah, that's a burden, that guy.
Yeah. But yes, no, Champagne I love, just another similar to Max Christie. This is you don't even need to worry about this. This is a running gag of players' name pronunciations wrong.
We think this is a stunt.
No, I don't think it's.
I actually have a bit of a disability with this.
I think this is not a stunt.
I just think this. Stunt.
I'm saying it's a gimmick. It's like a. It's something that happened. I know, but it's something that will happen throughout. So I don't even bother.
Yeah, fans. And this is not. Don't take this that I'm getting mad at Justin. There is that his name? Justin, right?
What? Julian.
Okay. It's not
Justin
a slight.
Champagne.
It's not a slight. It's just, so that's what you mean. But you were making sense to the viewers that it's a gimmick. It's not a gimmick. It's a disability.
Gimmick was the wrong choice of word.
Wrong choice of words. So here's what I like about this team. I think this team, even if Wemby got hurt, I think they could win a playoff round without Wemby. They're not going to win it without like but and that kind of depth, I think is, I don't know if we're going to see this in any other teams we go through, but that kind of depth where you lose your best player and you could still probably win a playoff series, that's something. Yeah?
I agree. And I think this will be one of the two best defensive teams in the league. And that is always worth a lot of just like regular season wins, where no matter what the lineup they put out there, this team's going to be big and they're going to defend and be athletic, and no game's going to be easy against them. They can win some games where they shoot 25% from three.
This might be my last chance to say this. I love suave, debonair Harrison Barnes, and I fear he's not going to get to play many minutes. And that's just a classy dude that never got the accolades for winning a championship, and he was actually very important. And there you go, Harrison.
The Andrew Wiggins of the pre-Andrew Wiggins Warriors.
Yeah.
But no, this team, they don't have a bunch of holes. They didn't do a ton this offseason, but I don't think they need to. Tobias Harris was an upgrade. I would just be looking for the next guy. We'll talk some as we come up on look at other teams and anyone comes up. But even like a Najee Marshall might be a nice fit. Like someone to just add.
Yeah, they might be one guy away, unless, again, if Dylan Harper does what he does in the playoffs and shoots a little bit better, I think this is an unstoppable team.
Yeah, I'm afraid. As a Jazz fan, I'm afraid of this team. And
no, don't worry. We've got Nurk. He can handle Wemby.
Yeah, no.
Who's our next team?
Okay, next team is let's take things up a notch with the New Orleans Pelicans. Them and the Kings are a battle for the worst run franchise in the NBA. This team looked at this last year where they won 26 games while not having their draft pick. They traded it away. To only win 26 games, not even tanking and trying to win in last year's NBA is incredible.
I think that's Zion's legacy.
Yeah, no. And this team they looked at this team that was awful and they're like, no changes. Absolutely no changes. They did nothing. The only thing they did...
DeJounte Murray is back, healthy. That's a change.
I'm not saying from a front office perspective, what they did this season, 0 players left the Pelicans. Only 1 player they signed, and it's DeAndre Jordan, and they signed him to a 2-year contract. And the significance of that is a 2-year contract. There's a rule in the NBA CBA that veteran players they make so much on their minimum because of annual raises that they were starting to, no one was wanting to sign these really old players. So they did a thing where like 1-year deals, the league subsidizes. And like,
that's a great idea.
On the cap, it's only a minimum, but that only applies to 1-year deals. And they had to sign DeAndre Jordan to 2 years.
Why?
So they're paying.
Was someone fighting them for
apparently they're fighting for DeAndre Jordan, who's been awful. And like, I don't know. DeAndre Jordan is never
guy. Super
cool guy, but has never struck me, like he was also on this team last year. It has never struck me as like this like hugely influential locker room presence. Like maybe he is, maybe I'm wrong about this.
People love DeAndre Jordan. Everybody loves this guy. Have you noticed this?
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's like this team I agree, this team needs some locker room presence. I don't know if he was able to do it. Like Poole, Murray, Queen, like they got so many.
I think you have a misprint here, and I'm not being like. Why is Murphy 3?
Sorry, this is just a site. There's lots of things that are off. So
okay, but
make
the other two looked right when I saw the other two. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, like the other two started, but Trey Murphy's in there.
Trey Murphy 100% will be starting.
Is he not their best player?
That's an ugly thought, but yes, I think so.
I thought you were a fan.
I like Trey Murphy, but he can't be your best player. That's more my... So here's the thing with this team is, like, they actually have more NBA players than I kind of thought in my mind.
Me too. Now
it's just a lot
of
inefficient guys.
Yeah, everybody.
Herb Jones, who I've always loved, was actually like their most influential player last year. Like their record in games with and without him was like hugely different. He's just
that
like
good defensively.
Yeah,
right?
He's a top 10 defensive player in the NBA. Can guard
anyone. Does he really lock guys down?
Yeah, really locks guys down. Has super long arms, super quick feet. Just really good. I hate that he's just been languishing here. Like he should be playing for the Utah Jazz. Just kidding, because everything's just going to come back.
63 players that you want.
But he's the key to making them even viable defensively. But there's no making this team viable defensively is the main reason.
Zion Williams, here's what I'd say if I'm next year when Zion goes out, plays 5 games, and then says my hamstrings are tight. I'd be like, get the hell back out there. You are either going to blow your hamstrings out this year, like both of them torn, or you're going to be a basketball player. I wouldn't let him come off the floor. I just like shove him back out. Like get a big guy. Shove him like DeAndre Jordan. Just like, no, Zion, we're not managing your effing hamstrings again. It's like half a decade. I mean, this is insane.
That actually has more that threat has more viability than it normally would, just because his contract is if he misses a certain number of games, they have the option to just waive him.
Okay, so they don't have to meanly have him blow his hamstrings out.
Yeah, no, they could. But no, this team, Zion just like he had his best season last year in most games season in a long time. He's just not the same guy he was.
Is he not that good?
I find it kind of sad.
I don't think me and the listeners.
No one's watching the Pelicans. Fair enough. Yeah, he just, I don't know. Like he's still like a good interior scorer and hard to handle and super strong. He just like doesn't have that same athletic paw that he had.
He's lost some of that quickness and stuff.
Yeah, just like all these injuries, he's just not nearly as devastating, and he
can't really shoot, right?
He can't shoot at all. He sucks defensively.
Was he maybe drafted before the shooting became this critical of a thing? Like why did we think he was going to run the world?
It's a good question. I feel like cool name, but I think people really fell in love with just the otherworldly athleticism.
Yeah,
massive dude, a massive guy, looked like Blake Griffin. That it was just all problems would be overcome by his athleticism. But I said at the time,
that big body and those quick feet, he reminded me, who was the guy from Memphis way back that I loved?
Zach Randolph.
There was a little bit of that feel to him to me in the beginning. But Zach was amazing.
Yeah.
And
Zion, like, and especially like every time he comes to play the Jazz, I've seen him several times, he just like demolishes them. If you don't have like a big rim protector like in the paint ready to go, it's just death. Because he'll just keep going at the paint. He's got really nice touch. That's something I've always appreciated about Zion. It's
finishing,
just like,
you're saying.
Yes, touch finishing the ball, not anywhere
Does he defend or not defend?
Not at all. No.
Can he defend, or does he just choose not to?
I think before there was an aspect of choosing not to. Now it's just like he's like 6'7" with short arms, but he has to play one of the big man positions. He's slow at this point now. Like he still has a decent quickness, I'd say, with the ball in his hands. But
I loved Derik Queen in college, and I was hopeful, but I didn't watch so much last year. For full disclosure, do people still believe Derik Queen can be a real basketball player, or what's the feeling on Derik Queen?
I think people are excited about Derik Queen and think he can be this really good offensive kind of Sengun, I think would be like what you're looking at as like kind of a comp. But offensively, like did some really awesome passing, some really great driving from the perimeter. He's got like a nice handle for a guy that size. Naz Reid is another comp if he can get
the shooting better. Hands, doesn't it? Yeah. Looks like the guy's never had a callus. It's awesome. Yeah. I love that.
The problem is he also can't defend at all.
That seems to be a common theme.
Yeah.
He's
very slow. Doesn't have exceptionally long arms or quick instincts. The combo of Zion and Queen just make this one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA.
Sadiq Bey. How good Sadiq Bey?
Sadiq Bey was kind of awesome. Like he was like on a minimum contract and got an extension. I think Sadiq Bey's pretty good. He was with Detroit. And then I think he went to Washington. So he's just kind of been languishing on these bad teams for a while.
He's kind of an interesting game. I watched him play a couple times last year, and I didn't know anything about him. And I'm like, I think this guy's good.
Yeah, again, he's like a 35% shooter who gets him up at high volume. Pretty good, strong defender. He's not going to start in this lineup. Like, it's just swap Trey Murphy at the 2.
As you know, I was a massive DeJounte Murray fan. Is there any chance that my dreams of DeJounte Murray being great could happen?
No, we've just like barely seen DeJounte Murray play for several years. Could definitely be. Like, how old is DeJounte? Yeah, he's only still he's 29.
So prime.
Yeah, so I don't know what the priority is going to be for the Pels next year because they do have their pick.
Do you play Jordan Poole? Is Jordan Poole brutal or decent?
Jordan Poole is among the worst 5 to 10 defenders in the NBA, no question. Awful. And just has like very talented guy, just horrible shot selection. It's just hard when you're not that good to be like pulling up from 45 seconds into the shot clock. I think it's just like a bit of a drain on team morale when you're like doing that as like that caliber player.
The more you watch Jordan Poole's career and just Jordan Poole, you kind of like, I see why Draymond punched him. Like there's just something annoying about how he plays basketball. He's sort of nonchalant and he's too cool, and you can see why Draymond got mad, maybe.
Yeah, and I'm sure this sounds like an insult, but I would actually love for guys like Jordan Poole and like Cam Thomas is another one like this. Go to China and be like score 80 points a game and just have the time of your life. They'll pay you lots of money. You'll love it.
Get some tattoos with that kind of different language on it.
It's just the level that you need to be to have the ball in your hands in today's like is so high. And he can really.
That's a huge thing now, isn't it? It's just like you to be that guy because these guys want to be that guy. You've got to be so smart and so feel for the game, right? And they just like Jordan Poole just doesn't have a feel for the game. It seems like.
Yeah, no, I agree. He just out here making highlights.
I look at Fears. I look at Hawkins. I look at my man Jordan Poole that I was a fan on Golden State. And I see a similarity in them, which is they all have some skills, but nobody's shooting it well enough and consistently enough. Who are these guys? Are they any good? Is Fears? Because Fears does some things. People are like, Fears.
Yeah, I didn't like Fears in the draft. I just thought like he doesn't defend, and B doesn't really shoot it well. He's like super super quick. Some nice great highlights. So like, there's definitely like.
How many times are we going to repeat this same thing, eh? Yeah, doesn't really shoot it great, won't defend.
Yeah. These are the two. Shooting and defense are the two things that like get you on the floor. and let you develop these other skills. But this is what I don't know. Your question about DeJounte Murray, what he's going to do, I don't know if they're just going to prioritize Fears, because Fears is the future in their mind here. They're very high on Fears because they gave up so much to get the Derik Queen pick.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't either. He's awesome ball handler, like really dynamic, driving, and Trey Murphy is an awesome shooter. He shouldn't. I wish he wasn't on this team anymore. I want to see him somewhere else. I want to see all these players somewhere else. The Pelicans are sickening.
For those of you that don't yet realize that this is going to be a great podcast of relevance, we just burned 9.5 minutes on the New Orleans
11.
Pelicans.
We're doing 12 minutes.
Nobody else could do this. Last word to the Pelicans. I love the name Eves. YVE. Is that not great?
Yeah,
Eves Missy.
He's a pretty good defensive player, big center.
He is good. Why don't they play him?
He's super. They do, and they will play him. There's he's got weird, like, his efficiency is really bad for being, like, he lacks something in, like, shot selection, even though he just shoots around the basket. I don't think he really understands, like, angles finishing very well.
What a great name, though.
Yeah, even Missy is a great name.
It's like such a Butler's name for my generation. Like, if I run that team, we'd be like, Eves, could you grab me a towel?
Yeah,
stuff like that.
DeAndre Jordan should be good for his career, I think, as a veteran mentor. Whatever. They do similar things. But
I don't know. What?
Well, I just mean rim running center. Athletic rim running big center.
Fine. Next team. God.
Next team.
Upside for the Pelicans. Is there any chance?
Upside for the Pelicans? None. Yeah, there's a chance they're not last because the Kings were also in this conference.
Maybe they have, but these guys have some assets that maybe they could, with good management, could they maybe start, like, showcase DeJounte, maybe get something for him?
Yeah, no, for sure. There are things they could do to make this more interesting. Like, one, you got to get rid of Zion. Like, he cannot play with Queen. That fit is so bad, and they want to operate in the same spaces on the floor. They both can't defend. If you like Queen, Zion's gotta go. It's time to do that.
That's what they have to do, yeah. Is it worth it for any team to take a swing on Zion? Like a team that's kind of like, and then be like, you know what?
The Kings. Anytime I just have no idea where someone should go.
How about Golden State?
Kings.
Do you think he could crush?
They would be kind of interesting. Yeah,
defending 25
that would actually be kind of interesting. Like, the pick and roll with Zion and Steph would be pretty interesting. With Draymond as a nice compliment, like, next to him defensively. I don't hate that.
Let's move on. Who's next? Oh, don't get me going on Durant in Houston.
Yeah, that's where we're going. Durant in Houston. Houston changes in the offseason.
You know what I'm going to, at some point, I'm dropping a cool nickname on what I think is going to be my favorite player in the NBA. But I'll leave that for the right moment. I'll just sort of flow into it at the right time. So here we go. Fred VanVleet. Right, he's back.
Fred VanVleet is the big addition. They brought in, the only other thing they really did is they swapped out Marcus Smart for Josh Okogie, which I think is an upgrade. Smart played really well this year. I don't know why the Lakers had no interest in retaining him, apparently.
Don't either.
That seems like something they should have done, but this team I'm actually super high on for the regular season. When I did my groups, like, I initially had them in the same group with, like, Lakers, Minnesota, Denver, and Utah.
And we're going to have an episode on that, fans, just so you know.
But I think I think they're clear in a way going to be, like, the third seed in the West. I think that they've got, like the Spurs, they've got a ton of depth. They have this, like, defensive infrastructure that works in the regular season and kind of falls apart a little bit in the playoffs. I don't know how much more I believe in this team playoff-wise, but this is going to be a good regular season team. The Amen Thompson and Sengun's weaknesses don't show up so much.
I believe Amen Thompson has no prayer of shooting well.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
That was a joke.
I agree with you.
The Amen
I got
joke.
It.
No, I told you. You didn't get it.
I totally... Well, I mean, once you say it's a joke, I can still say I could still not understand the joke after.
Now, just because I like being honest with these things, most of my stuff is actually just off the cuff. I thought of that a while ago, and I've been holding for just that minute.
So good.
So good. Nice. Okay, so with this team, Jabari Smith, as you know, I'm a huge fan. is he coming along? Is he becoming what, or
I don't think he's becoming what lots of people wanted him to be, but I think he's becoming exactly what, like, I was hoping he was going to be. Like, as opposed to the Pelicans with every player being like this, he both can shoot it with great size and he can defend. He's got decent feet on the perimeter. He comes over and helps pretty well in the lane. Just doesn't have a ton of weaknesses on either end.
And he doesn't seem like he seems like a good guy to have on a team. Plays within himself a little bit. Do you know how that seems to matter? Like,
no, I agree. He's definitely, I'm sure, like, the addition of, Durant kind of helped, because there are times, when they're injured, when they've got a bunch of injuries and they're forced to put the ball in his hands, things go poorly, because all he wants to do, if you just, let him do what his heart wants, is just, dribble to get to a terrible 18-footer that he makes at 35%. That's his, but I've liked how, Mally, he's not just sticking to that instinct. He stands where he's supposed to stand. He gets offensive rebounds. He's athletic. Yeah. I think they should be very happy with his development. He's didn't develop into the on-ball star that a few people seem to see in the draft, but I never thought that was plausible. He doesn't have that ball handling or the shake, but that's okay. He's 6'11", can shoot the shit out of the ball in defense.
If Alprin doesn't learn to shoot a three, they're just going to keep backing off of him, and there's no passing angles anymore. And I can't believe that it takes some guy in Saskatchewan to recognize this, and I have to listen to all the pundits make it but when you watch, he just can't do this. And I don't know, his shooting numbers aren't good enough. Nobody's coming out. There will be no space. Comment on this. Tell me how wrong I am.
No, I'm with you. Sengun really showed the holes in his game and the awful playoff loss to the Lakers last year without Luka. Sengun he's had a bit of a weird career progression where early on he was this amazing finisher inside with touch and stuff. And I agree, the shooting's important and needs to come along. But that was the special sauce that made the weaknesses worth it. Was this touch in the paint? Was this passing to cutters? That is just, he's improved defensively. He's still probably average. He's kind of like Jokic, but a little bit more athletic, where he's in the right place at the right time. He's got good hands.
He's fiery. He's fiery. He's feisty. I appreciate that.
His finishing just has fallen off a cliff. He's just not. I don't know. It's a weird thing that you think wouldn't change. So
usually goes the other way.
But it's been 3 years. Yeah, finishing is one of the things that most improves for players in the NBA. As the game slows down and they're not rushing shots. But at this point, if he's not, we keep saying when he gets back to this, but
maybe Van Fleet's going to help him though.
Maybe Van Fleet gets some better touches
right
for
place,
sure.
Right time.
But that's.
I'm not.
But I agree. If you're not this unstoppable force in the paint like he was looking potential to be, the jumper's a necessity. There's no way. If he is that, then the jumper's just a nice thing because he's got a nice little push shot.
Yeah, he does. I love that.
And I like watching him play. But,
me too, actually. Yeah. Next, and I'm not going to ask your opinion because I know I'm right on this. Kevin Durant does not move the needle anymore. Explain to the viewers what's going on. His numbers are great, but he doesn't move the needle for winning. I don't understand. Please tell them why this is. And don't try to refute it. I know I'm right.
Hey, grew up a Thunder fan as he left. I'm a big Durant hater. I would love to, not a hater on player, but hater I root against them.
I'm really hoping, Kev, if you're listening, please do some of your bitchy social media stuff on us.
That would blow us up. Come on the pod.
Blow us up. One of your accounts. Come on.
I think
girl bitches.
This was an issue. This was an issue earlier in his career with the Thunder and stuff, but I just think his scoring was just so otherworldly. Yeah. I think Durant gets to the same shot he wants to all the time, but it doesn't collapse the defense. It doesn't start a chain of reactions that opens things up.
The gravity thing that you've been you talked to me
you don't need to help on Durant. He'll rise up and get his very efficient mid-range shot that he's better at than almost anyone in the NBA.
Yeah, I'll give him that. For 20 years.
Yeah, and he's been awesome at that, and he can still like finish, and he's a good 3-point shooter, even though he doesn't like to take them as much. But other guys, and I always noticed this was why he was a great fit with Westbrook, despite maybe personality-wise not being the best fit, was like he's not collapsing the defense. And that's what you need a big scorer to do generally.
Right.
You need like someone to beat their man and bring help, and that starts the rotation of where there's openings. Durant doesn't do that. Durant just like gently dribbles to his spots, rises up, and shoots a good percentage. So, which is great. You do a lot of efficient scoring, but then when other guys aren't doing that, and you like need someone to stir the drink, and Van Vliet helps with that potentially.
That's a really good answer. I've listened to other shows. Nobody answers this. I think that might actually be, I'll give that. That's actually pretty good. And anyway, you go back to his Golden State days, right? Like he still didn't, like he was awesome, but it's like still Steph's thing, right? Extending out and all that other stuff. Okay, let's look at their bench. Reese Shepard. No, Reese Shepard. What's his name?
Reed
Shepard. Had some moments. Is he a contributor in the regular season? I think yes. Playoffs, yes. I think no. Tell us.
I would agree with that mostly. Awesome shooter, good ball handler, kind of. I think he has a role in the playoffs just because like they're so big at other positions, and he does provide really awesome shooting, but he just got hunted defensively so bad. Yeah, he was like, and he's got really good hands. He's smart. He gets steals and stuff, but just really small, really skinny, just this obvious target.
But can help them win some games in the regular season.
100%. Like, and I think he did great at that. He can shoot the shit out of the ball. I really like his fit next to Marcus Smart, where just like they do completely opposite things.
You love and always have loved, and I think this hurt them last year, Adams being out.
Yeah, Steven Adams, I honestly, like, they came out of the gates so, like, looking so great last year, and so, like, and I'd said too, because Adams has also not been healthy.
Is he going to get
there's
healthy?
Such an over-reliant, maybe, but there's just such...
What was his injury? Just general body breakdown?
General body breakdown. He's probably just... These guys that are just so big and strong, I just question, like, they're not built to play 82 games. But Steven Adams' offensive rebounding, I think, was, like, as probably the best per-minute offensive rebounder in the NBA, is just such a game changer. Like, he just, like, makes any lineup. It's like 40% offensive rebound rate, meaning like 40% of the misses of the other team he's just gathering. Like, it's crazy. And a lot of their bad 3-point shooting and their bad shot selection at times
they
is
get
cleaned
a second
up.
Shot.
Yeah. So then when you lost Steven Adams and your offensive rebounding went to average-ish, it really, I think, showed up that, like...
You know what else I wonder? I wonder if I'm going to shoot a three better knowing that there's a chance, you know, like usually if you shoot a three and you miss, it's done. But if you have a guy who actually might get the rebound, I wonder if that takes any pressure off the guy shooting it. It would for me, but I'm not an NBAer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Am I wrong? How many Bogdanoviches are there? Is this the same guy or are there like more than one?
Yeah, that's Bogdan. Well, there were two. There were Bojan, who was on the Jazz for a long time, and Bogdan.
And which one's this? Bojan or Bogdan?
Bogdan. This is Bogdan. The
is
Bojan's...
Who's the guy who's in Atlanta?
He's cooked. That's Bogdan. That's who this is.
Why do they keep a guy like this? Why not just like...
I don't know. He's got a guaranteed contract. I don't think they wanted him.
So many people love Eason, Tarek there. Tarek.
Tari.
Fix it. People love him. Is he lovable?
Yeah, so Tari, he still got it wrong. I heard something on a different podcast that I thought was a really good point, was on the Game Theory podcast, was
good shout out. They'll be watching us now.
If I'm quoting people, I should.
Yeah, you should, yeah.
That like the best steals and blocks players in the league are getting like are making steals and blocks on like 3% of possessions. So it's just like, it's great when you do these things, but it's like the
rare.
biggest thing is what you're doing all the time. And I've always thought Tari Eason's a bit overrated because he's really good in those facets. He's good, like, jumping passing lanes and getting in the, like,
but
and
97% of the time, you got to be in the right place doing the right thing, and it doesn't get noticed on a stat sheet or in any way.
Or in highlights. I think he's okay he's decent on the ball, but he gets lost in off-ball situations. So he's decent. He can shoot it okay. He's not like a bad player, and I didn't hate the extension they gave him, but I'm just less excited when I want my defensive specialist to be like an on-ball guy a little more than he is. And he's just kind of reckless on offense a little bit.
Is Clint Capella useful anymore or no?
It seemed like he was totally cooked and just looked done. Clint Capella's been a great NBA player.
Yeah.
And I still mad at that DeAndre Ayton comment about they just want me to be Clint Capella. DeAndre Ayton, you should wish you're Clint Capella. He's had a much better career.
This has been something that Ty has gone back to it really bothers him. First of all, he's not a massive DeAndre Ayton fan. And then when DeAndre Ayton was diminishing Clint Capella's NBA career, that got Ty all fired up, hey?
Clint Capella's movement in space defending on those Rockets teams was crucial. He was, huge for those teams. DeAndre Ayton has never had a season as good as 5 different Clint Capella seasons. Okay, moving on. But he's got nothing left.
Okay, any of these other guys, anything to watch? Tate, Crawford, Copeland? Any of those guys?
Well, just kind of some talk. We don't think Amen Thompson can shoot. So what would be your solution?
I think the numbers don't think.
I'm with you. Yes. Or can ever shoot. No. Yeah, he's awful. It's awful.
Yeah,
there's clearly talent there, and if they're building around him, what would you propose? I have my own thoughts. What do you think you do with him?
You know me. To me, if you can't shoot, I don't know, nothing.
Yeah. So my opinion is if you want to move ahead, unless Sengun comes out and can actually shoot it, I think you might have to choose between those two. Because I think Amen Thompson needs to be like the role man on offense. He needs to be setting screens. He needs to be kind of this big guy that when you get big guys switch out on him, he can blow by and he can get to the rim, play kind of in the cutter zone for oops. He's awesome on the offensive line.
He actually has a little bit of mid-range game if people can still tolerate a bit of a mid-range game.
Yeah, I think he just needs to be like a power forward if he can't shoot at all. But I don't think that works next to a non-shooting center.
No. He's
incredible defensively, and I think even better if you don't put the ball in his hands. I just have seen nothing that makes me comfortable putting the ball in his hands, and he just doesn't seem to beat guys like you'd think, even when they're close, even when possessions where the spacing is less of an issue. It's just something about it, just comparing him with Westbrook, who I watched so much growing up with similar level athlete. He just
doesn't
beat his man the same way.
No, it's the weirdest thing. Because he looks like he should easily beat people. I think this is a huge year. Fred VanVleet can show the world what his impact is if he can take this team to the next level. Yes, the closing thing is, viewers, you heard this here first. I am a massive fan of 2 things here. First, my nickname and the player. LaBruce Thornton. It's a play on LeBron, Ty. And LaBruce Thornton is an older guy. He can shoot it. He's stout. And I think he's going to be a real player. And I think that he's going to surprise some people. He makes, I think I want so badly, but I'm also the guy, just to make sure people don't think I have any credibility. Who's that guy I thought was going to be an NBA All-Star, remember?
Andrew Goodluck? That wasn't even the one.
No. I thought Goodluck would be like a superstar scorer. And he is in China or Australia and all around the world, just not in the NBA. But the other guy, he played for Denver, really nice guy, never turned the ball over because he never really did anything. And I told you guys he's going to be an all-star, and he didn't become it. Oh, LaBruce Thornton is going to be the man. Who's our next team?
Our last team is the Memphis Grizzlies.
Well, this is fun.
Yeah, Memphis will be super fun to watch. So changes from last year. Won 25 games, inked pretty hard, get to those 25 or down to those 25 wins. They have traded Jaren. Jaren was moved mid-season, so now they traded Ja Morant for like nothing, but like Jeremy Grant.
You got rid of him.
They got rid of him. They dumped him essentially, but so the end of the Ja, Bane, Jaren era, which had some good moments, was mostly disappointment. But they've just gotten completely massive because they drafted Cam Boozer, they acquired Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart from the Pistons. When I don't even know why the Pistons did this. I think they were expecting they were going to make a bigger move, and they were opening up spending, and then they didn't. So I think they just kind of.
That's going to be a fun team to go over. I can't wait for that episode, viewers. You're going to see some rage from me.
Good player, good contract. They got your love, Quinton Post.
Quinton can't post. Great name for a center.
And then if Edey's back, this team is huge.
Let's get back to Quinton Post for 1 second. Quinton Post shoots the ball at 7'1", just like his release is insanely quick. It's so short. It's so beautiful. Fantasy guys, if somehow they give this guy minutes, he'll get 3 or 4 threes a game. It's incredible, actually. Like Clay. He shoots it like Clay.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
No, it doesn't look like a 7-footer shooting the ball at all.
No.
And I think that's someone who, like, young bigs should look at, because that seems to be just, like, there's lots of bigs who have become pretty good shooters.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of bigs that look like they shoot like that.
He's got a quick release and everything. It's crazy.
I don't know why bigs shoot. It would be something interesting to look at, why bigs shoot so slowly.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why, like, what it is about being taller than you.
Like Chet? Oh my God.
Yeah, Chet's so slow. Like, all the
Look
bigs.
At this. This team has 2 of Ty's favorite. Like, we all kind of get NBA player crushes. I think we all do this sort of thing. You know, you have a guy that, like, nobody else
D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
You've got 2 guys on this team, Walter Clayton Jr. and Taylor Hendricks, both of whom are kind of like NBA crushes for you.
Yeah, no, these are guys I loved in the draft. We'll see how it works out, but I have Walter Clayton 4th in his draft, 4th or 5th.
I actually believe I've watched Walter enough. He's got a shot if he gets a shot. And this team, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't see a point guard out there. Might Clayton get a shot this year?
Yeah, Clayton's, I think, going to get a shot. This team's, like, overall just huge, but they are lacking shooting, and they're lacking passing. And Clayton can do both of those things. I really like how he can play off the ball. Like, he's an awesome shooter. Like, he didn't shoot well as a rookie, but he played 4 years of college basketball and was an awesome shooter on really difficult volume. I'm not concerned about that. But I think, like, huge playing like a handoff game with Boozer he'd be awesome in, like, running off screens and, like, making the right decisions. He lacks, like, athleticism to be, like, a superstar, but if he's the shooter I think he is, he could be a huge piece for this team. Taylor, go ahead.
He loves Taylor Hendricks. Taylor's not going to make it in this league.
Yeah, I am agreeing. I think we're kind of moving past Taylor Hendricks.
I don't know why.
The shot the jumper just has not come along for one. Like, in college, he looked like really developed. Like, he made huge progress with it. He looked a lot like it was going to be good. That wasn't even really a concern. And I do think he still makes some, not like his body's developing decently. Like, I saw him at Summer League. He's getting stronger. He is quite a decent defender on ball and some rim protection, but the juice isn't worth the squeeze if he can't shoot.
You know what I watch with him, and I see guys like this, it's almost like he lets himself just get lost and not do anything. And he just sort of sits out on the outside sometimes, just kind of like sadly waiting for the ball. And then that morose seems to infect his defense. And then he's just doing absolutely nothing. And you look at this kid and you're like, this should be a basketball player. I don't understand. It's crazy. For all you fans out there of Memphis, I'm telling you, Carlos Boozer, Cam Boozer, is going to help you win some games. Ty, explain why.
Yeah, like I was lower. I had Boozer 4th in the draft, but not because I thought he wouldn't be a good player, just because I thought like the superstar upside was lower, especially concerned when like you have to pay him if you have to pay him like $40 million. And that just makes team construction tricky. But from like a basketball player on the floor making impact, I think he'll be awesome. He's an awesome passer. He knows where to be. He
Seems
can't
like
like
a good team dude too.
yeah,
Don't
great guy to
discount
like
that.
be early in your rebuild with. Gets other guys involved. The shooting looks much quicker than it did in college. I think
Yes, I
in
agree
summer
with
league it
that.
did. Um, I think he's gonna make lots of teams better. I think my concerns defensively won't really show up until we're like talking later playoff rounds, so don't really
Right.
matter for this team.
Yeah.
Plus, playing
That's a
next to just a monster like Zach Edey
beautiful
or
Canadian.
Isaiah Stewart, beautiful, very
I'm
beautiful.
telling you though, here's a negative for you Memphis fans. When you see your team has a center that got hurt and you're hoping he's healthy, and then you see in the offseason that your team picks up two centers, that's telling you that your training staff is saying, Zach ain't gonna last, man.
Yeah.
Do you think that's true?
No, yeah, and I totally missed on Zach Edey's impact. I thought he was just too slow for the NBA, but
He
turns
got
out he's
quicker
just
somehow. I don't know if he
yeah, he got a
Ozempic
little
did a
quicker, but
bit
he
or
just
what.
yeah. He's just so impactful. Like the analytics community is just like abs thinks Isaiah Stewart's like a top 20 player on impact at
Is
times.
that
Like
right?
he grades out so well.
Definitely
Just
gives you
because he
some toughness. I like that about him.
offensive rebounding, toughness, rim protection, but yeah, the injuries were always going to be a concern, and I don't know. It scares me. There's just not a good not a good history of guys this big. I don't think humans were supposed to be this big, and
Didn't
I think
Bill
running
Walton
up the floor.
struggled? Yeah, remember
Yeah,
Yao Ming? Are you old enough to remember Yao
yeah,
Ming?
yeah.
What
I
a
was
beautiful
sure.
player, but his poor little feet just couldn't take it, it seemed,
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. I think
Tell me
your
about
only
Cedric.
chance is to be skinny. There's some
Yeah.
skinny. So that's Wemby's hope, but Edie's not skinny.
No, he's not skinny. He's a lot of guy.
Yeah, it's
Tell
too
me
much
about
weight.
Cedric Coward. I hear good things. I've never really watched more than a few
Yeah,
things, a
I really
couple
like Cedric
highlights.
Howard. He was one of the most interesting like draft prospects.
Is he in his second?
He was a rookie last year. He was a rookie.
That's what I thought, yeah. He
Um,
did some beautiful things, right?
so the interesting thing was like, so he played at like a junior college for his first couple years in college, like that no one was watching, like Central Arkansas, and then he transferred to slightly bigger school like Arkansas, and played 6 games. But showed off all this stuff, like all this potential shooting and defense and athleticism, and like so NBA evaluators were basically like drafting this guy off 6 games. It
For
like
Arkansas.
for
Really?
Arkansas, and he went
But he
11th.
showed out last year, didn't he?
Oh
Didn't
yeah,
he
no, and Memphis moved up in the draft to take him, and they were so right to do it. He's huge. He's got like prototypical small forward size, like athleticism. Just like does remind me a lot of OG Anunoby.
Cool.
Awesome
That's good.
attacking closeouts, like compact, simple shooting release that goes in at a decent rate, and just like lethal on ball defense. Has the length and arms to go off ball.
So this guy could be like a top 2 player on your team kind of guy.
Yeah, like not as a shot creator. He did a lot of like ball, like they really put the ball in his hands summer league, and it looked awful. Like he just can't. He's not. He
that's
can't
for a lot
score.
of guys, though.
But like that's okay. Like he's effective without the ball in his hands that much. I was really impressed by his rebounding. Weirdly, like he grabbed a whole, and I don't really notice like defensive rebounding that much. But he just like he's got great hands.
I look at this team. I think they're gonna have to run a lot of offense through Cam Boozer.
Yeah, no,
and
they are, and that's
the
thing. And I think there's like the semblance of a very interesting team here. If like
how about that Wells kid? Is he any good?
Yeah, I think he's. Yeah, people were going crazy for him because he was like a second round pick, and then he was like the front runner for rookie of the year for a while. He kind of plateaued a bit in his second year, but like he's a very good defensive player and can shoot it decent. He's just like an effective NBA shooting guard, who lots of teams would be happy with. I think they've really cultivated quite a few like good players. Scottie Pippen Jr. is on this team.
Yeah, because I thought he might be their starting guard.
Yeah, he might be. And I think he's great. Like, they've done a very good job, like, getting these guys who are just good NBA players on cheap deals where they're like good defensive players, can shoot it a bit. They're just missing this, like, the guy who stirs the drink.
I think that was John Morant supposed to be, wasn't it?
Yes, that was supposed to be John Morant. But like all these guys, like especially even Boozer too, who I think makes really good decisions and smart things. He's not the guy who stirs the drink, starts that, like we talked to Durant, starts that like rotation of the defense. But it's not impossible to find that guy, and they have tons of assets from all the Jaren and Bane trades.
Where's that Gigi? Isn't that Gigi guy in this team?
Yeah, Gigi Jackson is there
Where's
too.
Gigi? He's not out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. This isn't my website.
Let's cancel this. Fans don't use these guys.
Yeah, it was just the nicest one. I could see them all on one page.
Is Gigi good?
No, but he's so intrigued. Like I think like among Grizzlies fans, he's just like this so intriguing piece that will always be there because he is like, he's a 6'8" wing who can like really score the ball at times and really shoot it and like lights it up.
And he's kind of got an effervescent presence.
I'm sure there's lots of Grizzlies fans that still think he's going to be this like superstar in waiting.
Sorry, Grizzlies fans. We didn't even put him up on your lineup. Yeah. That's what we think. The other thing is this Ty Jerome. I believe in Ty Jerome also helping you win some regular season games. How many games if they're trying their hardest and everything goes right and Zach Edey's healthy and what can these guys,
if Edey's healthy, I think they can get into the group with Golden State, Dallas, Portland, and Phoenix. I think that's reasonable. Like in the lower end of the play-in.
Golden State down in that group? Oh my god!
You think Golden State's going to be in the top 7? That's 8 to 11. I have them at the top. I have Golden State 8th right now.
I've got some things to say about.
You think Golden State's better than like Minnesota, or Denver, or Utah? Not me. Not me.
You're asking a rhetorical question when you don't give me any chance to answer.
Go ahead. Do you think they're better than any of these teams?
No. You know what? I'm holding on. I'm holding on. If Steph could play 80 games, maybe,
I agree, but just don't
that's not going to happen.
But I think Memphis could be decent. I just think like the strength of other teams is just going to like, I think they'll lose a lot of games close. I don't think they'll have some like abysmal net rating and they'll put out good efforts.
Because different coaches, it matters. Like some coaches are finishing coaches. Some coaches do a nice job. Like will he be good with this group?
It's Thomas Isolo who runs this, who's from Europe and has this very like unique cutting passing offense, which is a nice fit for Boozer.
And Edey.
All right,
Posey!
Special
Posey!
guest Posey coming in.
What's up? You're in for the last bit. Look at this. Do you have curly hair now?
She's curly.
Is that curly or did you get a perm?
No, she's real curly like her mama.
Really?
Yeah.
Hi, Pose. Come on, smile at me. That's all.
She can't hear you, so.
She can't?
Not on the headphones.
Right. Okay, so this team you think can win some games and be a respectable team?
They're in some games, be pretty good defensively. They just need the guy, and I don't think that guy's on the roster, but they've got the assets to do it. I would be just looking for who, and probably it's not this year, probably it's next year, but.
Minus his contract, is Jeremy Grant still, like, he's tall, he can shoot it?
He's decent. Jeremy Grant's totally decent. He's making like $40 million.
Is that's the problem?
Yeah, no, I think like, what if you get like Booker in here at some point or something, like just someone who can like really be this big high usage guy on your offense, and then all these other things fall into place. I think they've done a very good job building this roster with good NBA players. I just think you're missing like the guy who can make things happen for everyone else.
You know what we did wrong in this episode? We went through this division and we ended with Memphis. What team should we have ended with? Because this is a production problem.
I guess we should end with the Spurs. I was kind of going in like
the team that's likely to come out of the West that was in the NBA Finals last year, and we ended with Gigi and the Grizz.
Okay.
Not even knowing.
Good point. Yeah.
It'll just show how raw we are. At the end of this episode, can you give the listeners a band and a song that you're really into right now?
Music corner. I'll go Cameron Whitcomb as an album, and it's so good. Digging Holes in particular.
In Holes?
Digging Holes.
Digging Holes?
Yeah,
this is the
really
album
good.
Or this is a song?
That's one of the songs on the album.
Cameron Whitcomb?
Yeah. I think.
Okay.
I don't know what to say, like, without music, but yeah, I think he's awesome. He was on, like, American Idol, apparently, but a lot of, like, the content's different than a lot of people, because it's a lot about, like, addiction and recovery and stuff.
But is it cheery addiction and recovery?
Not at all. No, not at all.
It doesn't end well?
No, it's not like it's like it's all sad. Like I mostly listen sad. Like none of it's like positive life music, but it's like.
All right, listeners. I suggest don't listen to that if you're in a down mood. But there we go.
No, it's good for down mood because it gets you hype.
Okay, so if you are manic depressive and you're feeling manic. No, if you're feeling
manic up, I guess.
Manic up. That was very good. Okay, Cameron Whitcomb.
Next week on Friday. I'm guessing I'll get these out tomorrow. So let's say every Saturday they'll be released.
Ty, is there any way that we're going to be able to take callers someday? Because that's really what I'm excited about.
It would not be hard to take call. We've actually already got a caller request.
No way.
From Jim's son has requested to call into the show. Yeah.
I can't wait. This is going to be just great. Good seeing you next week.
See you next week for
really
the
which division?
Southeast Division.
Who are who's that?
That is Miami, Washington, Charlotte, Orlando, Atlanta.
So, folks, if that's your team, I suggest you tune in. All right, Ty. See you, buddy.
Okay, see you.